Welcome back, amazing people, to Nation of Glory, the place where real stories from the heart of Hollywood come alive. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because today, we're about to dive into a journey that's not just about fame and movies, it's about courage, pain, and transformation. This is the story of a woman who turned her life's challenges into strength. A woman who came from heartbreak and found hope through art. A woman who made the world believe that sensitivity is not weakness, it's power. This is the inspiring story of Pom Klementieff, the French actress who became the soul of one of Marvel's most beloved characters, Mantis, and who continues to light up Hollywood with her strength, heart, and resilience. Pom Alexandra Klementieff was born on May 3, 1986, in Quebec City, Canada. Her story begins not in luxury or privilege, but in a world that tested her spirit from the very start. Her father, Alexis Klementieff, was a French-Russian consul, and her mother, Yu Park, was Korean. Because of her father's work, Pom's childhood was spent moving between countries, from Canada to Japan, and later to France. But life was far from easy. When Pom was just 5 years old, her father passed away from cancer. Losing a parent that young is something that changes you forever. And for Pom, it meant growing up quickly. Her mother, who struggled with mental illness, couldn't raise her, so Pom was brought up by her paternal uncle and aunt. For many children, that kind of loss could break something inside. But for Pom, it planted a seed, a quiet determination to make her life mean something. She learned to rely on herself, to channel her emotions into creativity, and to use pain as fuel for something beautiful. Growing up, Pom was shy, thoughtful, and deeply curious. She didn't come from a world of fame or cameras. She came from a world of quiet strength. She loved art, music, and storytelling. But it wasn't until she was 19 that she found her true calling, acting. She joined the Cours Florent Drama School in Paris, one of France's most prestigious acting academies. There, she discovered something powerful. The stage became her therapy, her voice, her escape. Acting allowed her to express the emotions she couldn't speak. At first, Pom didn't fit the mold. The industry wasn't always kind. Being of mixed heritage in the French entertainment world came with challenges. Some casting directors didn't know where she fit. But Pom never tried to fit in, she chose to stand out. Her performances were raw, emotional, and unforgettable. Her early career started with French films like Après Louis and Lou. They weren't massive hits, but they built something more important: experience and authenticity. Directors began to notice her intensity, her mysterious presence, and the way she could say 1,000 words without speaking. Then came her breakout moment, a film called Oldboy, directed by Spike Lee in 2013. It was her first major Hollywood role, and although the film was divisive, it put Pom on the radar of international filmmakers. She had arrived, not with noise, but with quiet power. Pom once said in an interview, "I've always felt like an outsider, and maybe that's what makes me connect so deeply with my characters." That honesty would soon lead her to a role that would change her life forever. In 2017, the world met Mantis, the gentle, empathic alien from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. When Pom auditioned, she had no idea that the character would become a symbol of emotion, kindness, and connection for millions. Marvel director James Gunn said that Pom's audition was unforgettable. She didn't just play Mantis, she was Mantis. Her ability to express emotion through subtle movements, her innocence, and her vulnerability made her stand out immediately. And once the film came out, audiences fell in love. Mantis wasn't just another superhero, she was pure heart. She could feel other people's emotions and take away their pain. In a world filled with explosions and power, Mantis reminded everyone that empathy is a superpower too. Pom's performance made people laugh, cry, and reflect. Her childlike honesty, her delicate strength, it all came through so naturally. And the best part, it was all real. Pom connected deeply with Mantis because she understood what it meant to feel different, to carry emotions that were too heavy, to use love as a shield against pain. When asked how she related to her character, Pom said, "Mantis is sensitive, but that doesn't mean she's weak. She's brave in her own way, and I think that's something a lot of people can understand." Those words hit home for millions of fans who saw themselves in her. The shy ones, the emotional ones, the people who care too much. Pom gave them a hero who made empathy look strong. From that moment on, Pom Klementieff became a name the world couldn't forget. She joined the ranks of Marvel legends, appearing in Avengers, Infinity War, Avengers, Endgame, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. But even as her fame skyrocketed, she never lost her humility. Behind the scenes, her co-stars describe her as funny, kind, and fiercely dedicated. Chris Pratt once said that Pom brings this energy that lights up every set she walks onto. And fans could feel it too. But Pom's journey wasn't just about fame. It was about healing. She's open about how acting helped her process the traumas of her childhood, how channeling her emotions through characters allowed her to find peace. After conquering the Marvel Universe, Pom stepped into another global franchise, Mission Impossible. In Dead Reckoning Part 1, she played Paris, a mysterious, powerful assassin with both ferocity and grace. Working alongside Tom Cruise, she showed the world that she could do it all: fight scenes, stunts, and emotional intensity, and do it with the same elegance that made her special. Tom Cruise praised her professionalism, saying she brought something electric to every scene. And audiences agreed. Pom's performance as Paris was mesmerizing. She wasn't just another action star, she was poetry in motion. In interviews, Pom often speaks about how she approaches every role like a new emotional journey. She dives deep, not just into what the character does, but into why they feel what they feel. That's what makes her performances so powerful: they're not just physical, they're spiritual. She once shared that when she was young, she used to watch movies and think, maybe there's a place where I can belong. And now, she's created that place, not just for herself, but for others like her. Pom Klementieff represents a new kind of Hollywood star, one who leads with emotion, not ego. One who shows that strength and sensitivity can coexist. That you don't have to shout to be heard. Sometimes, the softest voice carries the loudest truth. Even as her fame grows, Pom stays grounded. She still trains in martial arts, still meditates, still keeps close to the few people who truly understand her. She's private, but not closed. She believes in energy, in connection, in kindness, the same values that define her characters. Her life is proof that pain can shape beauty, that brokenness can lead to brilliance. When asked about what motivates her, she once said, "I just want to keep learning, as an actor, as a human, as a soul." And that's why people love her. Because in a world obsessed with perfection, Pom reminds us that imperfection is beautiful too. Every time she appears on screen, you can feel her presence. There's something magnetic about her, a combination of strength, sadness, and light. She makes you feel seen, even when she's playing someone from another world. And that's the mark of a true artist, not just to entertain, but to connect. Through Mantis, she taught millions the value of empathy. Through Paris, she showed the strength of determination. Through her own life, she's showing that no matter where you start, no matter what pain you carry, you can transform it into something extraordinary. Her story is one of resilience, of a girl who faced loss and found purpose, who faced rejection and found belonging, who faced pain and turned it into art. Pom Klementieff may not have planned to become a Hollywood star, but destiny saw something in her, something special. A spark that couldn't be dimmed by tragedy or doubt. Today, she's not just an actress. She's a global inspiration. She's shown that the quiet ones, the thoughtful ones, the dreamers, they belong on the biggest stages too. Her performances remind us that movies aren't just about spectacle, they're about heart. About feeling something real. And Pom has mastered that rare magic, the ability to touch your soul with a single look. She once said that playing Mantis taught her more about herself than she expected. Sometimes, she said, you learn from your characters. Mantis helped me accept my sensitivity, to see it as a gift. And maybe that's the greatest lesson of her story, that what makes us different can also make us powerful. Pom's journey is far from over. With upcoming projects in both Hollywood and international cinema, she's continuing to expand her world, proving that art, like love, knows no borders. She's become a symbol for anyone who's ever felt out of place. A reminder that your story, no matter how painful, can still become something beautiful. Because Pom Klementieff didn't just survive, she transformed. She turned her past into passion, her grief into grace, and her silence into strength. And that's what makes her story worth telling. From the little girl who lost her father too soon, to the woman who made the world believe in empathy, Pom's life is a movie in itself. A story of healing, hope, and human connection. So, the next time you watch her on screen, whether she's bringing the galaxy to life as Mantis, or outsmarting villains in Mission Impossible, remember that behind the stunts and smiles is a heart that's been through fire and still chooses to shine. That's what glory really means. Not fame, not perfection, but the courage to be real. And Pom Klementieff, she's the definition of that courage. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey through her life. If her story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nation of Glory. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we celebrate souls. Until next time, stay inspired, stay kind, and remember, glory isn't found in fame. It's found in your heart. This is Nation of Glory, signing off. See you in the next story.